Hey, it's me again, B with sunglasses. I have a question. Has this ever happened to you? Alrighty. Okay. 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 Yeah. Well, that that happened. Bruh. This event can be very, very frustrating. Like, why the hell does he keep healing? Why do Banhammer and Katana have so much shield? How do you even deal with tanks? That is the focus of this video. The first two things to keep in mind when approaching tanks are first, what character you're playing, and secondly, what situation is the tank in. When talking about tanks, I'm referring to just Banhammer and Katana. They have slow movement, high shield and health, and powerful attacks. I want to teach you all a little bit more about how to actually deal with these so-called tanks. Let's get right into it. Instead of covering each fighter individually, I'm going to split them into different groups. First, let's talk about mid-health melee fighters. I'll classify these as sword, skateboard, biograph, scythe, and coil. Here's the biggest tip while you're playing these sorts of fighters. Stop trying to bash your head at tanks over and over again, expecting some sort of miracle. I'm looking at you, scythe mains. The big point here is that you shouldn't be M1 spamming a max shield and a health tank. Focus on using the one or two slightly ranged moves you have to chip damage and get rid of some of that shield before you go M1 spamming in Katana's face. Tanks get tons of shield from just attacking people, and so you should be waiting until they have little to no shield left before you go trying to rack up tons of damage on them. When it comes to Banhammer, the biggest mistake I see people make when approaching him is trying to do damage when he's using his E move. He gets shield for every time he hits someone in this state. Hot idea, go away. Don't let him get any benefit from that move. For you scythe gals out there, you are great help when you're chipping tank shield with literally any of your gun moves. Another tip is to fire a fully charged gun E at Banhammer when in a mosh pit. This will stun him and kill him pretty quick depending on the amount of people there. When it comes to just tanks, that's about it for mid-health melee fighters. Alright, next up, all your ranged characters except Scythe. This list includes Rocket, Slingshot, Hyper Laser, and Shuriken. One thing to note is that if a tank ever comes to target you off to the side, don't engage. Use one of your evasive moves to back away. They'll lose interest eventually, unless you're Hyper Laser, then you can just pray. Your main job when it comes to tanks is to do the majority damage to their shield so that mid-health melee fighters can engage without gambling their life away. As you can see here, as Slingshot, I'm staying a good distance away and chipping away the shield of Banhammer and especially Katana in this situation. You can see me quickly back away with my E move when I notice Katana is beginning to target me. There isn't really much else to comment on for ranged fighters. You guys are usually doing your job pretty well anyway. Just please, for the love of God, stop voting for Protect Telemon. For our last section of fighters, we've got all support characters other than Coil. This list includes Medkit, Boombox, Subspace, and Vinestaff. These guys I'm going to cover a little more individually because they have a few more specific nuances when it comes to countering tanks. Let's start with the good old Medkit. The main tips I give for tanks are 1. Stay away from them, and 2. Get those damn headshots, people. Katana and Banhammer are egregiously slow. Take advantage of that. They're the easiest targets to headshot and get tons of healing from. Also, stop using your Q move on a tank in mosh pits. It doesn't actually do that much 90% of the time. Next is Boombox. Oh wait. Oh yeah. I've literally never played this guy. Like, what the hell does he even do? Sometimes I see him run out of tank and everything goes fine. Sorry Boomboxers. I don't even know what the hell to think of you guys. I'll give you one pretty cool tip though. Don't play bad. Alright, I'll be giving Subspace and Vinestaff pretty similar tips, and that's simply chip damage. Just keep doing chip damage, because when it comes to pure DPS, that's what both of you were made for. Keep tanks out of your way, keep doing what you're doing, and everything should go just fine. Also, Vinestaff players, don't place your plants where your or other team's tanks are. They'll get destroyed pretty quickly in the midst of all the chaos. Don't forget that you can put plants on walls. And that's going to conclude this week's video. Just as a side note, maybe you could consider subscribing. Fluid mechanics classes don't pay for themselves, and I'd love to get to a point where I can earn a little from these videos. Thanks, and stay tuned.